We would like to invite you to become a DC Guardian. A Guardian is someone who supports us with a gift of $10 a month. And you will also receive a beautiful DC decal so you can post your support. And also, you will get email updates for Guardians only. Plus, special discounts on products and functions and conferences to come. Please click on the donate button on our EIOBN.com website to support. Once again, on behalf of the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network, thank you. You are listening to your source for trusted intel and news. You're listening to Live with DC.
Hey there, it's your favorite president. You need to be listening to my friend DC. He's a trusted source and won't lead you astray.
Thank you for listening to You Host DC, your trusted source for intel and news.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Get this day started. And good things happening. Good things happening. I'm excited. All right, here we go. We are live. Hello, Brenda. I see you online. Thank you for tuning in. Hector, happy Monday to you. And I told you guys we'd be working on getting this thing more interactive. And we're doing it. All righty. All right. Well, happy Monday, everybody. And that's right, Brenda. We are strong. We are America strong. And I told you I'd be going live Monday through Friday. And Monday through Friday we are. We did get a late start here. We are still trying, as you all can see on YouTube and Rumble. Of course, we're live on the EIOBN.com network. Absolutely, Hector. I have been on the Brad Barton show. Brad is a good guy. He's a good friend. And grateful for him letting me come on and share things that's going on in America and things that we find out about. And I think it's good for the American people, to be grown up enough that we actually can accept the truth and digest the truth. And it's time that that America is not held in disclosure of information. And just to give you a little bit here, I was going to start some other things, but since I see so many people logging into YouTube right now, hello, James. Good to see you. Happy Monday. And what we're doing here is this, the EIOBN.com. If you go to that, that's our website. That is actually 100% Patriot-owned, MAGA-driven, Make America Great Again. And it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. When you say MAGA, a lot of people say, oh, you're racist. You're not racist. That means Make America Great Again. And when you say MAGA, people, oh, well, you must be a Trumper. Well, Trump is the one that came up with it. So it's all good. It's all good. But with America, it doesn't matter if it was Trump or somebody else that we supported and we really wanted to see in the White House. Make America Great is exactly what that is. Make America Great Again. And how do we do that? We do that with learning. The Bible says that we perish for the lack of knowledge. So it's good for us to have knowledge, but it's also good for us to be able to digest that knowledge and judge it and see it and make sure that that we do what we can do to make our country and America great again, and the rest of the world. You're right, Hector. And one of the things that we do here is on the EIOBN network is we are 100% supported by the listeners. So there is a couple places on there. If you would don't like to donate, you can. We greatly appreciate it because no one here, I don't get a salary for this. Everything is just, it is what it is. And the equipment that you see so far, we've had private people, including me, that's bought stuff. And then we have had a few people to actually support us and that really engage and love what we're doing here. And it's a great thing. It's a great thing. So like I said, every day we're on, we're going to be online, YouTube and Rumble. Plus also we are streaming live on the EIOBN.com network. If you want to listen to that during the day, you can. If you're on an Android device, you can go to your Google Play and put in there, and it's actually on our website. If you go to our website, there's a link there. You can click on it and then put the app on your phone. And sometime this week, we have a Zoom call with Apple because what it is the content that I put out. It's there's a tight line there, but we have an attorney that's got a hold of what we need to take care of, and we're going to win this thing, and hopefully within the next week or two. I kept saying that, but I didn't know why until last week, until I got contacted. But hopefully within the next week or two, we'll have the iOS app on your phone, so you'll be able to listen 24/7 or just when I'm online. It's completely up to you. And so, but yeah, the website, it's a great thing. Let me just tell you something. We started this thing about 2 months ago, and it actually started on Brad Barton's show. And then right after the Republic, I had told Brad several months ago what I was wanting to do, and he says, "Man, I hope everything does good for you." And so we did. We just kept moving forward towards this silently because sometimes it's Bible even says it, don't let the right hand know what the left hand is doing, or vice versa. So you really don't want to tell everybody your dreams because everybody ain't supporting your dreams. And Brenda, yes, I've got a ton of stuff on this stock market we're going to talk about here, and I'm going to try my best to get through this as quick as possible. And what I don't finish today, we will carry over to tomorrow. We're grateful that we have the audience that we do. But what I was going to say is we started out and we had probably like maybe 2 first listeners. And now we're 2 months into this and we're at 30,500 people. A lot of people we're reaching now. Now through the stats, when you pull up the stats for all the radio stuff, it's showing that 95% of the people listening are staying until the end. That's fantastic because it's unheard of. So I know we're moving in the right direction, and we'll continue in that direction. But yeah, there's so many things going on. The stock market thing is just crazy. You can't see it right now, but later on, we have more cameras going in here in the studio. There is TVs in here that's giving us live intel of what's going on in different places. It's crazy. It's just crazy. But I want to start out here, with all this that's going on with even the stock market. Of course, if you have stocks and you have, money invested, you know what's going on. You woke up, well, actually last night, I debated yesterday evening of coming on. And that's the thing is I get so excited about things and I want the American people to hear it. I want the American people to hit it, and be able to make moves and know. And last night, man, I've hardly got any sleep because of the fact of just that I was just so excited about, I'm not really excited, but that I was excited to find out information, and I wanted the American people to know it, and I really wanted to go online. And so I couldn't, but anyway, but yeah, if you don't mind, hit like and share, put as many hearts on there as you can, because it goes up and up and it puts us on a higher status rating. And when it does that, they let more people know that we're on the air, and more people in this Make America Great movement can have their voice heard. And like I said, I'm looking at all the people that's typing in now. Thank you so much. Pam, it's good to see you on here. Got a lot of great people here. And so we'll just move forward here. But anyway, the stock market going down, and last night I literally was watching live, what was going on in other countries, because you understand, it's Monday for us, but it's going into Tuesday night for them. So it's old news to them. And with this stock market, let me see if I can pull up my graph here. I got those of you watching, I'm scrolling here on my iPad here, as I've got a ton of stuff here. The stock market going down has just been absolutely crazy, just crazy with all the, just with everything with the world. And you have to understand everything in the world that's going on. it actually causes this stuff to take place. And you've got all these countries involved. You've got it's just nuts. It's nuts. But with the stock market, it's going to it's not going to get better. And here's what I'm telling you. It's not going to get better. I mean, it dropped 760 points, guys. And the Japanese stocks, they crashed worse than it was in 1987. And the U.S. economy, we can't handle this. We don't need to handle this. And I'm going to be, you all know, New York, nearly everything on Wall Street is tumbling and has been tumbling since this morning. Tumbling as, fear about a slowing in a U.S. economy. And that's what's happening. Our economy is slowing. It is not booming like Biden administration and Harris would say. It is not. It is not booming. Go to your gas pump and tell me that it's booming. The only thing it's booming is the prices of things going up and your wallet going empty. The S&P 500 was down by 2.1% in midday trading. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, it was about 763 points, or 1.79% as of 12/20 today. That's Eastern time. And the NASDAQ composite slid 2.4%. 2.4%. That's crazy. And the drops were just the latest in this global thing that's going on, this sell-off that actually started last week. And the people that know what's going on, that control, you'll see them sell their stuff out prior to. It's called insider trading, guys. And what they do is they will get insider information and go, oh gosh, this is going to happen. Well, let me either buy or let me either sell. And that's what they did. They started last week, selling off. Japanese, the Nikkei, it was 225 to help started the Monday by plunging 12.4%. Today is the worst since the Black Monday crash of 1987. That's how bad it is. But yet you're going to be sitting there listening, going, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. Yeah, and I see Hector. Yeah, Canada is listening too. We are very concerned about what is happening. At the least, ones that we are awake. That's right. We have to stay awake. You have to stay awake. You have to watch your money. You have to watch the economy. And I do not. I'm not a predictor of bad news, but I got some bad news for you. I don't think it's going to change too much. I don't think we're going to have a whole lot more great. What do you call it? I think we're going to see the bottom hit out of this, guys. I think we're going to see it go. It's going to get pretty rough until we have a presidential change. And I'm not talking about Kamala Harris that thinks that she's going in the White House. That witch is not going in the White House. But since 87, think about that. It plunged 12.4%. And what happens with that? Well, how does that affect me? Well, it affects businesses. It affects everything. People that have stocks and bonds, and people that have bought into the. And here's the thing, I can give you. This is my personal. I have bought in stocks. I still own some stocks, but most everything that I had, have emergencies in your life. You have to cash things out. You have to sell off. And I do have a few still left, which I really don't even care about at this point. But when you invest in things that are going to bring you great returns, and those two things are only silver and gold. It's silver and gold. And I know you go, well, I can't afford gold. You know what? You go to Starbucks every day and spend you $4 or $5, sometimes more than that, every day. You realize in a month's time, you can buy a gram of gold, and by the end of the year, you would have a whole ounce or more. Or you could just save up that $4 or $5 each day until the end of the year and buy you some gold. Let me tell you something about gold. And I'm not here trying to sell gold to you. I'm just telling you that gold continually goes up. I know someone personally that had been buying gold in the 70s, and they bought it all the way up until 2003 or 2004. Now, do you see what I'm talking about here? And I'm talking about they were buying like an ounce of gold a week because it was affordable back then. Then they moved to monthly, and they were saving money up for that because at the end of the day, your gold is just going to double and triple. And I can tell you this for a fact. Start researching, start checking your change, guys. This is how crazy this is. Check your change. If you find a pure silver dime or a nickel or even a quarter, save them. They're worth like $12, $13 a piece. And you start collecting those things, and it's just little things like that. Collecting them, and it adds up in the end. But here's the thing. I would much rather have my money sitting in gold that's in my safe that I can see and hold my investment in my hand. And I know that it will not depreciate. If it does, it's only going to come down a little bit, but it always jumps way higher. So here's the thing. As if you buy, say you bought an ounce of gold, and I'm getting back on the stock market, guys, but just hang tight here. If you bought an ounce of gold and say it goes up, and it normally does, but say it goes up in 1 year time. I remember buying gold at $650, $700 an ounce. Okay. An ounce. And, it definitely isn't that now. Let me check here. Let me just pull this up here. Well, with the stock market today, it did bring it down. Okay. So, but it come down and then it, boom, started coming back up. So your price of gold right now, understand, we're talking cheap gold that I was buying. It's $2,446.72 an ounce. So I know you're saying, well, I can't afford that right now. Well, you may not be able to, but you can start saving for it. Because even if you held on to it for 10 years and you gave $2,000, say you saved up $2,000 and you bought it in 1 year, in 10 years when you buy it or when you go to sell it, your investment on that is more than 17%. Okay. Now understand, you ain't gonna get no savings account. You gonna get nothing pay you 17%. If you see something like that, it's a scam. It don't happen. But where it had dropped today, and here's the thing is when it crashed in 87, I don't know if you remember this, but in 87, when it crashed, people were jumping out of windows. People were killing themselves. It was nuts. And I sure hope it ain't going to happen again, but it's hard telling these days. But it was the first chance for traders in Tokyo to actually to react to Friday's report showing, U.S. employers are slowing down on their hiring. It is a fact. It's not a lie. The way Biden keeps saying, "Oh, I'm up, we're up 36%," and they are not. They are not. And let me tell you how they do this. They say, "Hey, we want people to hire. So they start hiring people, and they get the people hired, but the people like Sheets or Speedway or whatever will give you $15, $16 an hour, and you're like, wow, man, I'm gonna quit my job, making $10 an hour with a little bit of bonuses and go work down there at Sheets." Here's the trick, guys. They get government kickbacks, but the thing is they give you these jobs, but they're only giving you 15 to maybe possibly 20 hours a week. You're still considered part-time. That's how that works. So in the end, it ends up being pretty much the same. So with this stock market, and here's the thing, that's why we have to make America great again. And I'll tell you why. Because when we make it great again, building our economy up, other countries base things off of us. They do. Whether we think they do or not, they do. They listen, they look, they watch. Right now, I'm looking at the stats. Let me look at this here, and I'll tell you something here. Where's it at? There it is. Okay, so right now, we have, wow, there's people watching on YouTube from Canada, and on the radio right now, EIOBN.com network, we have, wow, UK is listening. Thank you so much for listening today. There's a lot of people listening. And other countries listen and watch and react to the United States and what's going on here. But, in traders in Tokyo, to react to Friday's report showing that employers slowed down their hiring. Why would another country panic over America not hiring people or slowing down? Because they realize that if our economy is going to tank, then they want their money out. And I'm kind of old school. I kind of hope Donald Trump gets in and does what he says he's going to do. Do I believe he's going to be in? Absolutely, 100%. I believe that they will try to do whatever they can to keep him out of the race or keep him from winning. But you know what? It's even Donald Trump said it. We're going to have safe elections, even if the military has to be there to govern it. But we may. Here's the thing: we may see that happen before then. And what I'm saying by that is this: like I said the other night, and I'll read it to you here in a little bit. We still have the Brunson case that's still in Supreme Court, and they're still listening to the arguments. They're still listening to this. Trump has said multiple occasions, we may not have a 24 election. We may, but we may not, because I believe that he knows that there's still a chance. Not that he's shooting for that, because and like I said the other night when I was on the radio, I don't want him to jump in right now. I don't. Because if he jumps in right now, then the next cry is going to be, we're going to go before the Supreme Court. They're going to start arguing that he can't run again because he's ran 2 terms consecutively. That means it knocks him out of the race. So we can't do that. So I hope the Brunson case, part of me says, yeah, I wish he would win just to prove people wrong, but it really ain't going to prove them wrong, because they're still going to say it was cheated and blah, 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 and, and all that stuff. You're exactly right, Hector. He will be in. And those of you that are listening by radio and you hear me calling names out, we actually have a live chat going also on YouTube. There's good people in here. And so we just enjoy it. I will tell you this, guys. Donald Trump Jr. Actually made contact with me. I think I told it the other night, and loved the content. Thought it was great, and then also was going to show his father the video that I did about the lion. It's on YouTube. If you haven't heard it, you need to go listen to it. It's great. And I told him, I said, man, tell your dad if he wants to play it at his opening of his things he does on his campaign. Tell him I give him 100% permission. It excited me, because this little voice that we have is actually reaching across political lines, religious lines, and across the nation, not just in this country. We have a great thing here, and we are 100% patriot driven, patriot funded, and it's a fantastic thing. But with the stock market, last month, more economists, they expected the unemployment rate to go down, and this coming month, coming up, they expect it to even go lower. The latest piece of data on the U.S. economy came in weaker than actually expected. They had actually already You're exactly right, Brenda. SCOTUS did extend the session to encompass the Brunson cases. Do I think this will go clear till November? The Brunson case, probably not. If the Brunson case if the Supreme Court rules on that and says no, they're not going to do anything, then America does not need to whine and cry. We kind of need to thank our lucky stars, because we're going to feel cheated if they do say yes and give it to him and go, boom, put him in the election, say it was stolen from him. But as long as he's placed in there while he's supposed to actually technically be in term, it's kind of silly. But I want him to come in there with what he says he's going to do. He does. But if you and here's the thing is, you watch your stock market crash, it goes down, does other stuff. Buy you some cheap stocks now. Wait till Donald Trump gets in, and the day he's elected, it's going to soar through the roof. Soar through the roof. Well, even gold, and I read it to you, but even gold has had, it actually has moved between 1% and 2% up and down a little bit in this whole unemployment thing. And that is actually in part because actually the traders are actually wondering if the damage has been so severe that the Federal Reserve will have to cut interest rates in an emergency meeting. That's crazy. That's crazy. And let me just tell you this. It's done underneath the Biden, Kamala Harris regime. That's what it's happened under. And ain't one dang person saying nothing about it. I guarantee, and like we talked about the other day, I guarantee you, tonight, you'll turn on nightly news, NBC Nightly News, a bunch of lying sack of craps. They'll get on there and they'll give you the whole doom and gloom. For a half hour, they'll give you, for 28.22 minutes, they'll give you all the bad news of everything, the disasters going on in the world, everything. And then they'll take 30 seconds and try to say, but we're going to leave you with an encouraging word. After we have kicked you in the gut with everything and told you that everything is going to hell in a handbasket, now we're going to give you one rose and tell you good night. I wouldn't even watch that stuff. It's horrible. Yeah, you're exactly right, Richard. He should be able to take office and still run. Yeah, he'll be fighting the last of the current joke as in office. You better believe it. And there's all kinds of things that can take place. The main thing is this: if we wait and wait and wait for all the different decisions to happen before we make moves as just Americans, then we're just going to be screwed. We're just going to be so far behind. And we can't do that. We just can't do that. And so with this Fed, it could ride in, the Fed could ride in on a white horse and save the day. Who knows, with a big rate cut. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I don't know. I know Brian Jacobson, he actually, the chief economist at Annex Wealth Management, he actually said, he would hoping that the Fed would come in and cut rates, but that's highly not going to happen. Those are usually reserved. Those kind of cuts are usually reserved for national disasters or emergencies, like when COVID and the unemployment rate was just like boom, and this is not like an emergency to them. It's just not. It isn't at all. So. Yeah, that's kind of my take on it right now, and you're just still trying to watch it and see what all takes place, see what all's going on, and just stick with that. That's all you can do. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people give TikTok a bad rap, and yes, there are a few nut jobs on there, and they say a bunch of crazy stuff. I sent Brad Barton a video the other night. I seen a bunch of stuff when he was on live. At the end of his live, he was like, DC is sending me stuff here I'll check it out later. One of the things I sent him was actually a news article out of Washington, D.C. I think it was their NBC affiliate station out there or somewhere close by, where they had actually said, hey, why is the U.S. Marshals coming into D.C.? Why is the New York Police Department and other surrounding police departments coming into D.C. and being sworn in as U.S. Marshals and also as Capitol Police? And because something, you're right, 107 helps a lot. You have to be very selective on who you're listening to. And I'm kind of jumping here because there's so many things coming in on my text here on the chat here. When do you think arrests will be made publicly? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, because I think I know a lot of things have to be done in private. But at some point, here's the thing is, I know a lot of people say, I just want to see the tribunals. I want to see those. I want to see Gitmo. I want to see this. I want to see that. The other night when I read the transcript, I don't know if some of you were on there. When I read the transcript of the video of what happened in the White House, I literally people didn't hate on me, but people actually contacted me. It was like, man, I just had to turn the radio off at that point. Or turn it down. They turned it because it was so graphic of what was going on that I just couldn't handle it. That right there is probably 100% of the reason why we don't see a lot of things on TV when arrests are made and stuff like that, and because some people can't handle it. Yeah, exactly right, Brandon. It was enough to make you throw up, and it is. And once I get all the video stuff together here, and I got a switcher, and I'll be able to show you active stuff on the screen. I have some videos I will show you all. We'll do a special show for that, and those that don't want to tune in, they won't tune in. But see, that right there is the great thing about what we're doing here. You're not going to find this on mainstream media. You're not going to find it anywhere like that. And here at the EIOBN network, we are completely non-funded by, the deep state or even, people that are big pharma, people like that. We're not into that. We don't care if you got all the money in the world and you want to pay us to keep our mouth shut. It ain't gonna work. Not gonna work. Because I believe if we continue to band together like we are doing right now, and we help push and grow and support this network, it's going to be bigger than ever. And I will say this to you. I thought about this, and I'm going to jump back on what I'm saying, but kind of like a squirrel today. But those of you that are listening and will listen later and everything, I'm thinking about having a pre-election celebration party. I'm not sure what you all think about that. And like in person somewhere, in a place somewhere, a neutral zone, and actually come together and have like a pre-election party. Because here's the thing, we got to come together. It does not take Donald Trump getting in saying, I'm going to make America great. It takes you that's listening right now to make America great. It takes you to do what you're supposed to do. It doesn't take anybody else. No one else can get you up in the morning and Donald Trump is not going to show up at your house and say, hey, it's time to put your pants on and get your shoes on and go out this day. It is up to you to do that. And it is up to you to help make America great again. Great again. Yeah, absolutely. I'm reading your party would be great. Yeah, and that's something I've been thinking about. Because I know that we are doing some conferences next year that are going to be absolutely mind-blowing. We've got one that's going to be here. I can't tell you who all, but I've got a lot of people that's going to come in here. We will have limited seating and availability here where I'm going to do this function at. It will be right around 400 seating capacity. We'll get to that at a later date, but that's just throwing that in your there. But yeah, the party thing, y'all think about that. I'm kind of looking through, you think the party would be great. But then I cried like so many people were. Yeah. You know what? I think we're ready I would much rather the truth be put in front of me than to just continue to be lied to by media. Because if I know what's happening, I can pray about it. I can get through it. But if I take everything that's happened personally, then it's just going to screw me up. It's going to mess with your head, guys. And you can't let that happen. And some of the things I have gotten a hold of is WikiLeaks. I don't know if y'all remember that. And when they did the Hunter emails and all that. Actually, the Hunter emails, and this is something that the mainstream media is not telling you, but I've got it in front of me right now. And I don't know if any of you have actually went through Hunter's emails and looked at them. I have. I actually have a copy of everything, and it is crazy. It kind of shocks me that all the stuff that was on his emails, had things to do with people. I didn't even realize the dude was that popular. I'm going to say that because he had a lot of contact with a lot of people. And of course it was about money and they were getting, him and his dad was getting money from China and all that stuff. But actually in one of the emails, it ties Kamala Harris. Here we go. Kamala Harris to Pizzagate. Now, some of you will say, well, what is Pizzagate? And then somebody's going to say, well, I heard that Pizzagate was false. Or I've heard it, but I just don't know. Pizzagate was real. And if you don't know what that is, you need to research it. Because I can't take a show and just spin it just on that. If we was going to do that, we would research for all that. But not only that, it ties, Hunter Biden's emails ties Kamala Harris to Pizzagate via Maya Harris. You know who Maya Harris is? That is Kamala Harris's sister. John Podesta, campaign chair. Maya Harris, senior political advisor. Pizza chef James Alfantis. A comment of ping pong is what this says. But it gave a date for it of April 10th, 2016, hosted by Maddie Beckwith, Tony Podesta in Washington, D.C. Contributing levels. Your basic level was $2,700 for an individual or $5,000 for a pack. Or if you just were a supporter was $1,000 or $2,000 or a friend was $500. This was something that that even Bill Clinton and his wife was part of. They were part of this. And the names that are on these lists are absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. It's disgusting. And if you don't know what that is, you can go research it. And here's the thing is when you research it, you have to research. I have a lot of people that I'll talk to and they'll go, well, I just looked on MSNBC or I just looked on Google and you're not going to find it. You've got to research. You've got to dig in and find it. You'll find it. If you really want to look at it, you'll find it. And all that stuff that happened. Well, it was finally done. He goes by Wyatt. But Austin Wyatt. But has it hit you yet? That everything we know now, our government, Obama, Biden, Fauci, y'all know I'd like to kick him in the head. Fauci, Gates, that's another one. MSN, and these celebrities, every one of them that are a part of an elite, whatever, or just controlled, maybe just controlled. Oh, well, that's impossible. That's what you all said until, what's his name? came out and got arrested. Guy that was preying on all these Hollywood stars. And then you had Epstein that came out. Good Lord, have mercy. Epstein's list. That's crazy. Here's the thing. If you listening and you say, I just can't handle that, then you have no reason to judge it. Say it's fake or whatever. If you don't want to research it and you don't know it, then you can't say it's fake. And for those of you that do research it, you'll realize the people that you voted for on these lists, and they need to not be on these lists. Kamala Harris, she is the most radical, liberal president candidate in the history of what we've ever been through or done. She has always been very liberal. And despite what the mainstream media is going to tell you, y'all hear me now, despite what they tell you, research her record, because she lies, and I don't even think she knows what she says. I just really don't. But here's a direct quote. Here we go. I'm going to quote the candidate for the Democratic Party, or the Demo-Rat Party, because they demolish things and they're nothing but rats, or demo rats. But Kamala Harris, on January 21st, 2021, she says, here we go, these Trumpers think we care about the Constitution. Wow. Oh, but I'm going to vote for her because she's black. Oh my gosh. Or I'm going to vote for her because my daddy was a Democrat, or a demo rat. My grandma was a demo rat. But these Trumpers think that we actually care. When she says we, she's talking about the Democratic Party. These Trumpers think that we care about the Constitution, and we have the power now. And it's time to end this. They really don't get. They really don't get it. We will block them in the courts. We will use federal law enforcement and military. And after Joe inflicts the death blow, I'll take the reins, and they will beg me for a loaf of bread. If that dictator would be elected to our country on day one, we would be destroyed. She is a witch, is what she is. And when Donald Trump gets in, because he's going to win, guys. I'm telling you, he's going to win. As Rush Limbaugh used to say, trust me, folks, trust me. I'm not going to say I told you later, but I'm going to tell you later. I told you so. Vincent Kennedy, I personally know him. And one of the things that quotes, and he's pretty good with what he's doing, guys. One of the things he said was, he goes, we know everything. When he's saying we, he's talking, well, let me stop there. But anyways, we know everything. We have it all. Every phone call, text, emails, photo sent, every video. Everything is encrypted. Excuse me. We know what's behind the walls, inside of walls, where the bodies are buried. We have codes to quintillions of bank accounts. What he's talking about is fictitious bank accounts that have been created, that this money has laundered through there, even like Biden. I mean, Biden, you got him with China. And you know what? And prior to him actually walking into the White House, you know, Trump warned us. You had Pizzagate come out. You had Epstein Island come out. You had all these things that are coming out. And for the life of me, I don't understand why people still tried to vote for that dummy. But I'll tell you why. Because he had a woman with him that swears up and down she's black when she's not. And also you have people that are just loyalists to the Democratic Party. So here's my go. I had a chance to talk to Trump, this is what I'd say. Hey, you really want to tick the Democrats off? Let's do this. You say this. Once I'm elected president, we're going to go through and do a forensic analysis of everybody that voted and everybody that didn't vote for me. And everybody that didn't vote for me, we're going to give everybody an ID card. And that ID card says, I voted for Trump. And it has your certain number on it. Now, I'm just being goofy here, guys, but serious. We're making a point. And then give the ones to the Democrats that, everybody gets their card of who they voted for. And when they go to the gas station to buy their gas, they have to scan that barcode. And if they were a Democrat, they have to pay the Democratic prices right now. And if they Republican and they voted for Trump, then they pay the Trump prices right then. Same with groceries, same with everything else. And I know that's not going to happen. But my point is this. It's kind of not fair that these people that are against Trump and that are trying to keep us from having Trump in there, which he's going to win, and he's going to go in, like legitimately be sworn in, not just voted in, but sworn in. But I think these people, it's kind of bad because it's double-edged sword, because these people are going to receive the benefits of Donald Trump being the president. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And these people are going to be, I'm glad we got cheap gas, but it's only because of Biden and he left the country in a better place. I mean, bull crap. Just shut up. Just shut up. I have tuned out so many people. I have deleted so many people from social media. Because the lack of knowledge and the complete, oh my gosh, of ignorance. Did you hear now that all the major airports are starting to swabbing all the passengers? Yeah, I have heard that, but I'm not sure all the airports are doing that. I know that they're, here's the thing. We're coming up to the election, guys. Okay. So we're probably going to see another little sickness go around, or pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Do I know that for a fact? No. But yeah, and a lot of people are awake. Brenda. Yeah, absolutely. They are awake. John Kerry, Pence. Yeah. And Schumer too. Absolutely. They're nasty pedophiles is what they are. And I said it last week when I was talking about Pence. Pence, he should be ashamed to even walk into any church and pretend like he's a Christian. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he betrayed the American people. He used, and here's the thing. It bugs me how religious leaders are so ignorant. They're so much have their head buried in the butts of stupid stuff. And they rely on, well, I'm just going to pray about this. And there's nothing wrong with praying, but there's nothing wrong with researching some of these candidates and saying, you know what, I don't really agree with them. I don't agree with them with abortion. I don't agree with them on same-sex marriage. I don't agree with them on this. And those of you listening, if you agree with it, that's your business. I'm not condemning you. I'm telling you how I feel. But these religious leaders, oh my gosh, Pence, he's a man of God. That's what we need is a man of God in there. And he gets in there and he screws the American people because he's not a man of God. You need to understand the difference between a wolf in sheep's clothing and a real sheep. That's what you do. And how do you do that? You get in the pen, or you get in the area, the realm of where that sheep or the wolf that's in sheep's clothing is, so you can actually understand who they are, what they're really about. Check them out. They're going to be ruling our country, for God's sakes. We have got to check them out. And if you're going to throw your support out there, throw it for someone that's decent. And the other thing that bothers me, since we got on this, here we go, guys. This is DC's rant today. I am sick and tired of churches. Let me say this. 90% of our churches in America do not have the balls to stand up behind their podium and tell the American people, hey, listen, I am going to openly condemn this attack that was on Trump. And they may not even support him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. You let someone come into these churches and try to assassinate your pastor, and you say, oh gosh, that was a man of God. They touched him, touch not my anointing and do my prophets no harm. They'll give you all this stuff, but they won't care. Oh, it's about the kingdom of God. Let me tell you something. The kingdom of God, yeah, I believe in that 100%, 100%. But you better get your mindset on this country, because if you put a strong Democrat in there, they're going to come in and they're going to judge your churches. They're going to make your churches go, you know what? You have to do same-sex marriages. You have to. And I know, I'll never do that. Boy, let me tell you something. The church will probably be the number one place that will push the mark of the beast because they're easily duped. And Pence did that. Pence came in there and he duped all these people. All these people. At least Trump walked in there saying, yeah, I was accused of grabbing her by the woohoo. And yeah, I've had affairs. And yeah, I've had this. You know what? Look at David in the Bible. For God's sakes, the dude was a cheater, a beater, and a killer. But yet the Bible says he was a man after God's own heart, and God loved him despite of everything. Can I tell you this? That's why when Kim Clement, you go back to his prophecy, he says, I see God saying that man is my David. My David. Doesn't matter. What bugs me too about the churches is they'll say, oh, God can use anybody. Your sins are under the blood. But you come in there and go, well, we can't use you because of you've done this and this and this and this and this. Wait a minute. Let me ask you this. When did we get to the point that we start sticking our hands in the blood of Jesus? And I don't mean to go religious on you, but here we go. Stick your hands in the blood of Jesus and pour out other people's sins and still make them pay for something that was years ago. And it is only in the political, and the churches become political too. But it's in the political realm that you can have all these things and still be a politician. And I don't care what Trump has done in his past. I don't care. Because he didn't do it to me. And if he did do it to me, I'd have to have forgiveness, which is what I'm supposed to do. Forgive 70 times 7. Go figure that up. I'm supposed to forgive. I'm supposed to move on. Can't hold it against the person. Unless they continually do it. Every day I have to pray for certain people. Here's the thing. Not because of my behalf, because of their behalf. You understand that? Because if you operate under your hurts, you're going to want to hurt others. People that's done stuff to you. You want to get vendetta. You want to get back to them. You want to make it hurt. And we can't have that. We have got to come to a stop and say if our churches are not going to openly condemn violence and openly condemn wrongdoing. And I'm not talking about smirking and smiling and joking. I'm talking about, let me tell you something. Donnie Swaggart, his dad was Jimmy Swaggart. I know a lot of you probably don't like him. I don't care. But Donnie Swaggart, you need to Google it. He got up that following Sunday, right after it happened to Trump, that Saturday, he got up on Sunday and he gave the greatest speech on behalf of what happened to Trump. And although I don't like the music at their church, if I lived in that area, I'd probably go there. But you know why? Because they are pastors. They are true leaders that are going to get up and condemn openly and let the people of God know, hey, this isn't right. This can't happen. This can't happen in our churches. Can't happen in America. We must stay strong and we must continue in this fight. And we got to. We have to. Let's see here. Look here. You hear about how it must not be. Yeah, you're right. It must not be all of them because my sister-in-law flew out of Nashville the airport. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They're not. All of them's not swiping. But I think right now they're just trying to get back on track with all the delays and everything. One of my friends, he was trying to fly out of a different state, and it was like 5 flights. It was canceled, and so that's a long time. But getting back to this, with all these leaders, if they show you their true colors, then stop trying to redeem them. Move on. If you don't like Trump, move on. If you don't like Biden, move on. But you can't because the sucker's still in office. Because every day something happens that affects our wallet, it affects the American people. Electric prices are going up. Water prices are going up. It's the same sources we've always used, but they're going up because of other things that's going on their side that's making it go up. But anyways, So getting back to Vincent. Sorry about that, guys. They know where the bodies are buried. We have the codes that control the bank accounts. We robbed the Vatican, the Queen, the World Banks. We have the gold that Canada even sold. And here's the thing. Hillary Rodham Clinton, she hid a bunch of stuff. The Rothschilds, they hid a bunch of gold in China, in a China triangle. And we have it all. We do. We have it all. Tuesday, 30th of July, 2024, the rise of Kamala Harris is a biblical prophecy. Kamala, she is actually compared to like a hint. And some of you are going, I don't like this. I don't care. You need to hear it. You need to research it. Because once you research it, you'll come back and be like, in the next chat tomorrow, be like, hey, I found this out. Thank you for telling me. I was ticked off at first. But Kamala is a Hindu goddess of Devi in Mesopotamia. That is referred into in the book of Revelation in 17:4. Revelation 17:4. Look it up. Otherwise known as the laughing or cackling. Hello? Do y'all hear what I just said? When you research it, it's known as the laughing goddess or the cackling goddess, and she is called the harlot of Babylon. If you don't think we're living in end times, you're nuts. I don't care if you don't believe in the rapture. I don't care none of that stuff. If you don't think these are the signs of the times, these are the signs of the times. That's why it's important to have strong leaders that truly back what we believe. Her full name is Kamala. You ready for this? Kamala Devi Harris, Devi. And that goddess is named Devi in the book of Revelation. Her full name, Kamala Devi Harris, born in, 1964, the year of the dragon, which is also what? 2024. Do you really think there's coincidences? And it goes on to say that the woman is arrayed in purple and scarlet and adorned with gold and jewels and pearls, holding in her hand a golden cup full of abominations now, and the impurities of her sexual immorality. She don't care what she's done. Because, here's the way I was raised. You can be in the church, and when it comes to spiritual things, and we're going somewhere with this. In the church, you can only go as high, or you can only be blessed with the anointing that's up on that house or up on that leadership. And what is at the top flows down, right? Say you have an umbrella. It rains on the umbrella. What happens? It comes down around, and whatever's around it gets wet. The person that's holding it is the one that's actually letting it come around everything else. So in spiritual sense, the person that's holding it up, your pastor, is letting that anointing that comes down flow up onto its people. Very biblical here. And we don't need Jezebel in the White House. We don't need all that in the White House. And I said it the other night. I really hope Trump comes in and says, you want, I'm going to stay at Mar-a-Lago, the White House there, make that the new White House, and take that dump in D.C., sanitize it, tear it down. I don't care if he builds something else over or whatever, or just fills the whole basement full of concrete and puts a park there. It's been a disgrace. What's happened in that, the house hasn't, but what's happened in that house has been a disgrace to our country. And it's absolutely ridiculous. You're right, in large population areas, yeah. You can't make this stuff up if you tried. And when you go back to those of you that are biblical people, if you go back to your Bible and say, this is a warning for God, beware of this woman, she is pure evil. But you know what? Trump will be in, and I believe, I said this the day that he got shot. I came on the air. We did an impromptu show. But I said it then that his heart would change, his mind would change, and we're going to see a different Trump emerge. We're going to see one that's grateful. We're going to see one that's thankful. We're going to see one that knows who saved his life. Because when he hit the ground, I guarantee you, when he hit the ground, he was like, Lord Jesus, save me. I'm about to die. And then the next time we see Trump at the RNC, he comes out, his mannerisms, everything's different. And I told you guys he would. I believe there was something take place spiritually, not only physically, but spiritually, that brought him back to the foot of the cross. And when that man does go in the White House, and he's going to, guys, he's going to, when he does, we're going to sit underneath a different regime. We're just going to. Let me play this real quick here because, you know, she has said that on TikTok, I watch it, go through there and I listen to people and it drives me nuts. Kamala, she's saying she's black. I'm voting her because she's black. I'm voting her black. And I'm going to play a couple things here real quick here. I know we're getting time away. We're shooting an hour now. But I'm going to play this here. This is Kamala here.
I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent.
Huh? Do what? Let me hear it again.
I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent.
You mean she's not African American? What? No way. No way. Yes way. She's a liar. She does anything she can to get where she's going. That's proof of that. That's absolutely proof of that. Absolutely crazy. Let me play you something else here.
In her speech in Atlanta last night,
Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris even tried to outbrand a new Southern accent. Did you hear a new accent?
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
If I ever did that, all of those people back there, look at them. Look at all those cameras. When I go through hell, I'd have a week of hell if I ever tried to do that. The contrast could not be more stark. On the one hand, you have a radical left puppet candidate who is fake, fake, fake. And on the other hand, you have a president who will fight, fight, fight for America.
I kind of believe him. You know what I'm saying? Kind of believe him here. Here's another one. If you think that this is a new trick that Kamala's doing, it's not. It is people pretending. And you know what? And here's the thing. I'm part of what my background is Cherokee. Okay. Now, if I had a presidential candidate standing up going, I would be absolutely offended and I would not even vote for that person or making fun of heritage or any of that stuff. But this isn't the first trick. This is actually Kamala. This is actually when Hillary Clinton was talking to a predominantly black group.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from
What the heck? What in the world?
where I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
I don't feel
In 2024. Are you serious? Guys, this is a joke. We all knew Hillary was a joke, but still, I mean, it's And here's the thing you're going to find out is that people around you that have not believed in you, that have said Q's fake, all these things. I've gotten so many responses from people, emails and such, saying, you're right, William, treason charges. That's what needs to happen. And I believe it's going to happen. I do know that there is certain people that have already been taken care of. But treasonous, these people have been treasonous. They have gotten up and in the face of the black community, mocked them. But because they say, oh, I was a Democrat, they will still take a beating and vote for that person. And I said it a couple of weeks ago, I'll say it again. Your Democratic Party, guys. I don't know anybody personally that's watching or listening. So if this comes down your road and it offends you, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. The Democratic Party has been the number one, not Trump, not anybody else. The Democratic Party, their whole goal to begin with was to keep the black community down. Go back and research. Don't research. I'll get the video for you and I'll play it on hopefully tomorrow's show. And it talks about how the Democratic Party when they were actually, the African-American community was able to go to our schools then and it was back then. There's certain commercials that the Democratic Party put out of how to keep the black community down. If you make him dress classy, dress all this way, all these certain things, it's disgusting. And the Democratic Party has been the number one slave master ever. And for the life of me, I don't understand why we still say, but I'm voting for them. I'm going to continue to vote for them. Ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. And the only people that get mad at you or say that you're crazy are people that are closed-minded and people that are mad that you actually speak the truth. Because those people like to live in a lie and pretend like everything is great. Just, everything's fine in my life. Everything's fine. They're living a lie. They would much rather live in a lie than live in the truth of what's happening. And I'm going to play a couple more clips and we're going to be ending here in a few minutes. But Trump, he actually did this interview and it was in Chicago. And of course, the girl that was interviewing him thought she was just going to railroad him and say all kinds of stupid stuff. And of course, Trump, the person that he is, he comes back there and says, hey, he's a boss, guys. He's a boss. Hit your likes and shares there, please. We need tons and tons of likes here. Hit your hearts there if you don't mind, guys. And he's sitting there. And what is hilarious is one thing I noticed that no one said anything about was he comes out there and sits down and they have no water for him. And he looks around, can't see it. And he reaches across and grabs the girl's water canister and unscrews the top and sits it where he's at. That is such a boss move. That is a move that says, I dominate, even though she thinks she's going to come in here and just try to, build her career by being rude to me. And she didn't. She ended up resigning. That's the hilarious part. But here we go.
Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, and inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition
the words
then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct question.
Define it for me if you
I
would.
just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because
she can't define it? She can't. And that's what happens in this Democratic ran thing. They run their mouth and have no facts and don't even know the definition of what they're saying. That's the funny part. We perish for the lack of knowledge. Yes, Brenda. Kim Clement did say that in the prophecies that Trump would draw closer to God. they don't know the definition. They just want to make accusations, and just try to pinpoint. They make accusations to make you mad, is what it is, a trick. To make you mad, to make you agitated and go, hey, I'm going to, and you want to defend yourself is what happens. But Trump doesn't fall for it. And that's another thing, guys. Stop defending what you believe. Stop defending with other people that want to live the lie. Stop defending what you believe. Stop it. Let me go on with Trump here.
She is a black woman.
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
Hilarious.
So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always
But you know
identified as a black woman.
I
She went to a
respect
historically
either
black
one.
college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do
And
you
I
believe
think,
that
I think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some
I
Republicans
really
have
don't
said?
know. I mean, I really don't know.
She still don't have the definition. You still don't. You just don't. It's sad. Sad and crazy. Sad and crazy. And he's on his toes too. He's not about to fall for it. Not going to fall for it. Give me a definition. Why the definition? No, the definition, there was no definition there. But anyway.
We would like to invite you to become a DC Guardian. A Guardian is someone who supports us with a gift of $10 a month. And you will also receive a beautiful DC decal so you can post your support. And also, you will get email updates for Guardians only, plus special discounts on products and functions and conferences to come. Please click on the donate button on our EIOBN.com website to support. Once again, on behalf of the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network, thank you.
Thank you. And if you go to EIOBN.com, there's a place to listen on. There's a place for all of our social media stuff. You can click on that. Click on all of it. Be a part of it. It's great. It's going to be great. It's all good stuff. Good stuff. I'm going to close down here in just a second, but I want to leave you with a couple of things. One of the things I saw, and I wanted you guys to hear this.
There are only three types of people in your life. First are the leaf people. These are people who come into your life just for a season. They're there to take what they need. And as soon as it gets cold or a wind blows in your life, they are gone. Second are the branch people. Although they are stronger than leaves, you have to test them out before you run out there and put all your weight on them. They may stay with you for a few seasons, but they will break away when life becomes tough. And finally, the root people. These people are very important because they don't do things to be seen. Their only wish is to support you and help you live a strong and healthy life. And even if you go through a difficult time, they will hold you up. They love you just the way you are.
Fantastic. I love that. Thought it was great. I'm watching. I'm looking at some of y'all stuff. Did he change for sure? Yeah, I think he did change. There's no way that he couldn't have changed. I mean, someone tried to blow his head off his shoulders, and that's the thing. And I said it a couple weeks ago. That is exactly what the Democratic Party wanted to see. When you understand how vicious and how vicious this is, they wanted to blow his head off his shoulders in front of the American people on TV live. CNN was there. CNN would be going crazy over that. They'd still be, And yes, I believe he changed. I believe something happened. There's so many things that are in play. There's so many pieces to a puzzle. And if you start putting down, take a piece of paper, cut it up in 50 different pieces, and lay one piece down and say, okay, well, yeah, Kim Clement said he was going to be 2 terms. Okay, this said this said this. And you start putting that together. Guess what? It makes sense. It starts creating something. It's not far-fetched. It's not goofy. It is what it is. And that's what it is. Common sense is, I'm going to read you this here. It says, common sense is not a gift. It's a punishment, because you have to deal with everyone who doesn't have it. And boy, is it true. Yeah, the mark, I just saw that 9.91916. Yeah, it's down, the market. Absolutely. You're going to see a lot of things change tomorrow. With this, that's actually happening with the stock market and all this. There'll probably be some addresses brought out. You know, when I say address, Kamala will come out with all her great wisdom of a hyena and be like, and giggle because the American people are in pain. Giggle about it, cackle about it. There ain't nothing daggone funny about that. There's nothing funny about the American people getting screwed. There's nothing funny about that. And there's nothing great about that. But I'm going to tell you what is great. Come November, we're going to vote Donald Trump in the White House again. This time it's not going to be stolen. This time there's protection. The military is, trust me, there's tons of things that are going to be going on to keep it safe. And the other thing is, if you go to vote and you're physically voting and they give you your paper and there's any writing on it or anything, you tell them you want another one, because that means that's a phony one. That's a bad one. You want something that's not been marked or anything. You don't want it, because if there's one mark on it, it kicks it out and rejects it as a bad vote. You don't need that. And when they say, hey, stick with me, I'm going to put this paper in there and that we can see it's being counted, you stick around. You don't just take off. You stick around and you watch that thing. You protect your vote is what you do. You protect your vote. And, I saw this. It was funny. It says, let's play a math game. Here we go. How does Indian plus Jamaican equal African American? Because that's what Kamala's background is, Indian and Jamaican. So how does it make her an African American? I guess because nowadays people can identify as a cat, meow, that it's okay. So maybe she's just born that way and identifies as an African American. I don't know. I don't know. But more things coming tomorrow. I'm not going to keep you much longer here. More things coming tomorrow. We got great content coming. I hope you enjoyed today. And I think that we're in a good place here. We've done great with our numbers here. We've done great keeping the audience up. Please hit the hearts. When this comes up on when actually it stays up on the YouTube, share it. Love you awake. Okay, I'm sorry I missed this, Brenda. A lot of people are awake. All of the cleanup and clean out be made public. So how? Here's the thing. The news is ran by Democratic Party and people that fund that stuff. So there's your answer. But when some things change, there's a lot that's already out there that the people don't see. And I don't have a problem showing some stuff, but it's pretty rough stuff. Anyway, well, with that being said, I hate to go, but we got to go, guys. It's been a great show. I appreciate everybody that's been a part of it today. All your comments, the people that are staying in here, we're doing great. Pass the word along, and hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have our app for Apple. So you'll be able to, if you're at work, you can flick it on that and listen to it, or in your car. And also, and just so you know, when I'm not on the air, we have actually encouraging music that's playing. It's non-offensive. Everything's great. And I personally have looked over everything that gets played and everything. So it's all good. The other thing is, if you, today, we actually have some, Let's Go Brandon, stickers here. And if you want one of these, I'm also, throwing in the lapel pins here. We already had one last week a couple last week, actually. We didn't, I'll just send the package, but it's a beautiful lapel pin. It has the American flag on it. For any gift of $20 today, you can go to EIOBN. If you make a donation for that, make sure you put in your name and address, and we will get that out in the mail. And I will actually sign those for you also, which is great. Keep in mind what I said about possibly doing a party, a pre-election party, and we'll see what we can do. Wouldn't it be great if we could get together and have Professor Toto here, and also even Brad Barton, get us all together in one room, and we just, be non-alcoholic and all that stuff, but we just have a good time and just be a united family, make America a great family. But anyways, thank you so much for your support. And if you're on Facebook or any of those other social medias, please post on there. Go listen to EIOBN. We want to get great support here and grow this voice. And so with that being said, I pray that everybody have a wonderful day today, and keep your head up, because we win. And we got this thing.